Hello, this is Steve with the Free Bullion Investment Guide. Today is March 2nd, and I'm doing a review and outlook for the US dollar. This is the US dollar's daily chart, and in review of last week's video, I had shown you this rising expanding wedge, which is a negative pattern, and the dollar did do as expected by falling below it, confirming it. Now, the reason why the dollar fell early last week is basically because of two reasons. First off, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell testified in front of Congress, and he basically supported the accommodative stance that the Fed has taken over the last month towards the market, and that helped the dollar to move lower, as well as the expectations of the GDP report that came out later in the week to be less than stellar. However, later in the week, the the GDP report was better than expected. The expectations or the estimates for the GDP came out anywhere between 1.9 and 2.3%. Now, the actual report was 2.6%. So that helped the dollar rise in price, as well as more optimism about the U.S.-China trade deal. Nothing's been finalized clearly yet, but the two presidents of China and the United States are expected to meet later this month, and also Trump delayed the tariffs that were supposed to hit China on the 1st. He delayed those yesterday, so that also helped with the optimism in the trade war deal. We don't know anything yet, but again, it gives more fuel behind the dollar's price, and it helped it move higher. Also, the yield on the 10-year Treasury moved up consistently Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which also helped the dollar move higher. So that's it for the review. And for the outlook for the US dollar, I have found a falling wedge. Now, a falling wedge is a positive pattern for the US dollar, and it's likely to break it sometime this week. The MACD looks like it's moving upward. It's changing positions, and so does the RSI. The RSI looks like it's about to move higher as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if the US dollar broke above this pattern early or sometime this week. Also, though, we do have, for the outlook for the US dollar, we have the job report coming out later this week or next week on March 8th. So that should help. Well, it really depends on how it comes out. Estimates are for 180,000 jobs to have been created in February. Now, if it comes in clearly, if it's a bad report, it will hurt the dollar. But if it's a good report, it will help the dollar. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that's one thing to pay attention to next week. So for the outlook, I expect the dollar to basically move up, but more sideways movement. We're really just getting a general sideways movement. It's moving between the 97.45 level and the $95 level. It hasn't broken below the $95 level since October of 2018. And I'm really expecting the price of the dollar to just continue to move sideways. Last week, it would move sideways with a downward slant. This time it'll move sideways with an upward slant. So we'll see what happens. I look forward to talking to you again next weekend. I thank you for your time. Take care, and God bless.